Hello, good evening, everyone. Beta, welcome to another session today. And today we are going to take some questions based on intermediate microeconomics. बहुत अलग अलग past years से questions हम लेंगे बेटा. और आज का जो first question है, it came in year 2000 and 2018. This is the first question. And I just want to go ahead and do this question with all of you. हाँ बेटा, देखो question देखो, read it out. हाँ. Consumer's consumption bundle is described by X1, X2. His money income is 100. His price of good 1 is 10 and price of good 2 is 10. So, beta, what is the equation of the budget line? P1 X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to income of the consumer. But a price of good 1 is given as what? 10. 10 X1. Price of good 2 is given as what? 10. 10 X2. Income of consumer is given as what? 100. देख लो बेटा आगे कर दो जरा इसको solve करो. What will you get? You will get X1 plus X2. I'm taking 10 common is equal to 100. So X1 plus X2 is equal to 10. बेटा अगर मुझे इसको डायग्रामेटिकली प्लॉट करना है, इफ आई वांट टू प्लॉट दिस डायग्रामेटिकली, देन ऑल ऑफ अस नो दैट द डायग्रामेटिक presentation of budget line, here I will take good 1, बेटा here I will take good 2. हाँ बेटा, x एक्सिस का जो पॉइंट होता है दैट इज m by p1. तो इनकम इज 100, प्राइस ऑफ गुड 1 इज 10, so 10. y एक्सिस पॉइंट is m by p2. हाँ बेटा, इनकम इज 100, प्राइस ऑफ गुड 2 is 10, so 10. If I will join these points, na beta, I will get my budget line. So my budget line is this. Now read the question, beta. How does your budget constraint change after a lump sum subsidy of 50? So you are given a subsidy, but बच्चा ये जो subsidy दी गई है, this is a lump sum subsidy. So whenever there is a lump sum tax, how does your budget line looks? It looks P1 X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to M minus P. Income कम हो जाती है by the amount of the tax. Whenever it is a lump sum tax, income will reduce by the amount of the tax. Similarly, beta, whenever there is a lump sum subsidy, income will increase by the amount of the subsidy. So P1 X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to income plus subsidy. Beta, you are given price of good 1 is 10 X1, 10 X2, income is 100, subsidy is 50. हाँ बेटा, तो हो गया 10 X1 plus 10 X2 is equal to 150. Take 10 common beta, equal to 150. So bacha, what will you get? You will get X1 plus X2 is equal to 15. X1 plus X2 क्या आ जाएगा बच्चे? 15. So if you will get X1 plus X2 as 15, तो बेटा जी यहाँ पर we can have new income by price. New income is 150 after 50 rupees subsidy. Price of good 1 is 10, so 15. New income by price of good 2. New income is 150 by 10, 15. This will be new budget line. My budget line will shift outwards. Am I clear on this? Everyone is clear with this, bache? So this is how you can go ahead and solve this question. ठीक है बेटा, ये मैंने explanation दी हुई है. This will be available on all your portals, so you can check it on the portal. Now बेटा, read the next part to this question. क्या कह रहा है next part? It says, how does budget constraint change when government gives per unit subsidy of 5? Per unit subsidy. तो बेटा per unit की equations लिखते हैं हम. So when you have per unit tax, अगर मैं हर यूनिट पे टैक्स दूंगी, when you have per unit tax, your budget line will become, initially if it is P1 X1 plus P2 X2 equal to M. So after tax on good one, per unit tax है beta, so it will become P1 minus, sorry, plus T. Price will increase by the amount of tax into X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to M. ऐसे बेटा if you are given subsidy on good X, तो प्राइस गिर जाएगा सब्सिडी की वजह से, प्राइस विल फॉल. सो P1 minus S X1 plus P2 X2 is equal to income of the consumer. Is this clear? तो बेटा price of good one is given to you as 10. Subsidy is given to you as 5. Price of good 2 is given to you as 10. Income of the consumer is given to you as 100. So 5x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 100. Beta, initially what was your budget line? It was 10x1 plus 10x2 equal to 100. If I want to plot these two budget lines, how can I go ahead and how can I do the plotting? I can take good one here. I can take good 2 here. बेटा इस initial budget line को देखो. For x-axis, put x2 as 0. When you will put x2 as 0, x1 will be 100 by 10, which is 10. इसको 0 डाल दो यहाँ पे. You will get x1 as 100 by 10, which is 10. बेटा when I will put x1 as 0, x2 will be 100 by 10, which is 10. So initial budget line is this. 10 here and 10 here. Now beta, I want to go ahead and I want to find my new budget line. हाँ beta. So to find the new budget line, this is my new budget line. So beta, here if I will put x2 as 0, what will be x1? 100 divided by 5. इसको 0 डालो यहाँ पे. So it is going to be 20. So x1 will come down as 20. हाँ बेटा. And if I will put x1 as 0, अगर यहाँ 0 डालोगे तो x2 will be 100 by 10, माने 10 only, this point. So the budget line will pivot outwards. This will be your equilibrium condition. So the answer to this question will be, how does the budget line change? It will pivot outwards. Okay beta? This is 2018 past year question. Am I clear on that? ठीक है बच्चे, अब आगे का क्वेश्चन देखो. Compare utility in two cases. The utility function is given to you as u equal to x1 x2. थोड़ा सा सॉल्व करके देखते हैं. So बेटा, your utility function is given to you as x1 into x2. बेटा, how do you find equilibrium? Equilibrium is where MRS is equal to the price ratio. बेटा ऊपर चलते हैं पहले हम केस 1 की तरफ और वहां देखते हैं हमने क्या किया था जब हमने लमसम सब्सिडी की बात की थी. हाँ बेटा, लमसम सब्सिडी में हमारी बजट लाइन की इक्वेशन ये थी, एक्चुअल बजट लाइन की इक्वेशन ये थी 10x1 plus 10x2 equal to 100. ये एक्चुअल बजट लाइन की इक्वेशन थी. और लमसम सब्सिडी में बजट लाइन की इक्वेशन ये बनी 10x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 150. बेटा ध्यान से देखो, when we go for lump sum subsidy, जो हमारा प्राइस रेशियो है वो अनचेंज्ड रहता है. There is no change in the price ratio when we will go for lump sum subsidy. है कि नहीं है? अच्छा, tell me something. What is my equilibrium condition? कैसे निकालते हैं हम equilibrium? Step 1, we equate MRS to the price ratio, and step 2, जो भी यहाँ से equilibrium condition आती है, we plug that equilibrium condition in the budget line. यही करते हैं बेटा हम. So I am given my utility function as x1 into x2. तो बेटा जो हमारा MRS हो जाएगा, that will be mu1 by mu2. Beta, if I will differentiate this utility function, विद रिस्पेक्ट टू गुड 1, अगर मैं x1 के रिस्पेक्ट में डिफरेंशिएट करूंगी, I will get x2. If I will differentiate with respect to good 2, I will get x1. बेटा this has to be equated to the price ratio. तो initially मेरा price ratio क्या है बच्चे? 10 and 10. Price of good x is 10. Price of good y is also 10. So this will cancel out and give me 1. तो बेटा I get the condition x2 by x1 is 1. इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि x2 should be equal to x1. बेटा what is my budget line? मेरी budget line दी हुई है 10x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 100. Initial budget line. हाँ बच्चे, my initially budget line is given as 10x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 100. तो बेटा x1 and x2 are given equal to each other. ये मेरी equilibrium condition आई है, MRS equal to price ratio करके. So 10x1 plus 10x1 will be 100. तो बेटा 20x1 will be 100. So x1 will be 5, x2 will also be 5 because they are equal. तो बच्चे what will be my utility? It will be 5 into 5. x1 into x2 था ना? So 25. Am I clear on that beta? Now बच्चे take the case of a lump sum subsidy. So when we talk about lump sum subsidy, my budget line will become P1x1 plus P2x2 is equal to income plus subsidy. So बच्चा हमारे केस में हमारी जो budget line आई that was 10x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 100 plus 50. So we got this budget line. तो बेटा you can clearly notice that P1 and P2 are unchanged. Price ratio तो change नहीं हो रहा है. So बच्चे what will be my equilibrium condition? MRS equal to price ratio ना. MRS we found as x2 by x1. Price ratio is 10 by 10. So यहाँ से x2 equal to x1 ही आएगा. Condition will remain the same. But I have to put this in my new budget line. So instead of x2, I will put x1. Both are equal. So beta, I will get 10x1 plus 10x1 equal to 150. Clear हुई है बात? तो beta, I will get 20x1 as 150. So beta, I will get x1 as 7.5 and x2 also as 7.5. So what will be my utility beta? x1 into x2. 7.5 into 7.5. ये clear हुई बात बेटा? 7.5 into 7.5. So when you will find that value, so you will get the answer as 56.25. क्या आंसर मिलेगा बेटा? 56.25. So your answer will be 56.25. Lump sum subsidy की वजह से your utility has increased to 56.25. Earlier your utility was 25. Now your utility has increased to 56.25. Clear? Acha beta. Now tell me the case. What will happen if I go ahead and I give a quantity or per unit subsidy? तो बेटा पर यूनिट सब्सिडी में बजट लाइन को हमने कैसे लिखा? 5x1 प्लस 10x2 इज इक्वल टू 100. हाँ बेटे, तो यहां से व्हाट इज माय प्राइस रेशियो? P1 by P2 ना. तो व्हाट इज P1 by P2? व्हाट विल बी P1 by P2 बेटा इन दिस केस? इट विल बी 5 by 10 which means it will be half. हाँ बेटा, so what will be my equilibrium condition? MRS is equal to price ratio. बेटा MRS मैंने निकाला x2 by x1, price ratio है half. So the condition I will get is 2x2 is equal to x1. क्या condition आ गई बेटा? 2x2 is equal to x1. क्या करते हैं हम? Whatever is your equilibrium condition, you put it back in the budget line. तो डाल दो इसके अंदर बेटा. So you will have 5x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 100. तो बेटा 5. x1 की जगह पे I will plug in 2x2 plus 10x2 is equal to 100. तो बेटा you will get 20x2 equal to 100. So x2 will be 5. Beta, if x2 is 5, what will be x1? 2 into 5, 10. Beta, what is utility? x1 into x2. So 10 into 5, so 50. Now let me do a comparison. एक comparison करके देख लेते हैं इस question में. So without any tax or subsidy, without anything, beta, your utility was 25. When I went ahead and when I found that a lump sum subsidy is given, तो उस केस में lump sum subsidy के केस में बेटा my utility became 56.25. And in case of quantity subsidy, beta my utility became 50. So can we say lump sum subsidy is better than quantity subsidy? Yes. Yes. अच्छा, इसका एनालिसिस हमने अपने लेक्चर में किया है. सो देयर वाज एन एनालिसिस वेयर वी कंपेयर्ड lump sum tax versus quantity tax. Beta, we have done this in our class, huh? And after comparing lump sum tax with quantity tax, we came to the conclusion that lump sum tax is better. We came to the conclusion that lump sum tax is better. और इसका क्या reason दिया था हमने? Why did we say बेटा lump sum tax is better? Because there is no distortion. Preferences change नहीं होती हैं. Preferences don't change. मैंने ये पूरा graphically explain किया था. No distortion, no change in preferences. And then we did a numerical also. इस पे एक numerical भी हमने किया है to prove that quantity tax makes an individual worse off as compared to lump sum tax. It is there in the book Serrano. उसकी book में भी ये example दिया हुआ है. Now what we have done is, in this past year question that came in 2018, instead of tax, subsidy is given. Lump sum subsidy and quantity subsidy. And we are comparing the two. And then we are coming to the same conclusion that a lump sum subsidy increases utility more as compared to a quantity subsidy. Lump sum subsidy makes you more better off. तो कभी कभी क्या करते हैं ना, at the end of the question they will put this question that which is better, lump sum subsidy or quantity subsidy. So in that case you have to go ahead and answer accordingly. Clear हुई बात बेटा? Everyone is clear with what I am saying? So this is how you can go ahead and solve this entire question. ठीक है बेटा? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take another question. Question number 2, it came in the year 2018. Padho question beta. A consumer always consumes 1 unit of good X with 2 units of good Y. Write the utility function of the consumer. Beta, when you consume 2 things together, that means that they are complementary goods. क्या मतलब हो गया इनका? That they are complementary goods. A complementary good function is of the form min of alpha x comma beta y. अब बहुत ध्यान से मुझे सुनना है, बहुत ध्यान से. This will come in exam and it is very, very, very difficult. बहुत ध्यान से सुनो मुझे. बेटा, whenever it will say 1x with 2y, अगर ऐसा लिखता है 1x with 2y, जब भी ऐसे लिखेगा, या 4x with 3y, 7x with 9y, whenever it will give you these kind of questions, then in such questions you will always cross the coefficients. What do I mean cross the coefficients? इसका मतलब ये है बेटा, it has written 1x with 2y ना, तो x का कोएफिशिएंट 2 बनेगा बेटा and y का कोएफिशिएंट 1 बनेगा. Please remember this, very important from exam point of view, very, very important. So whenever it says you will have 1x with 2 units of y, तो बेटा you will always put 1 with y and 2 with x. And this will be your utility function. And this will be your utility function. Clear हुई ये बात? Okay बेटा. Then I've written the utility function. अब ये कह रहा है price of good X is 5. Price of good Y is 10. Income is 200. Find equilibrium. क्या बोले बेटा? Price of good X is 5. Price of good Y is 10. Income is 200. Utility function I have written. It is saying find equilibrium X star Y star. So beta, what is the property we have studied in class about our equilibrium? क्या पढ़ा है हमने क्लास में min function के equilibrium के बारे में? We have studied that whenever it is a min function equilibrium, whatever comes inside the min must be equated. जो भी min के अंदर आएगा उसको हमें equate करना है. So 2x is equal to y. Beta, what is your equilibrium? What is your budget line? Budget line का equation हो गया px into x plus py into y is equal to income of the consumer. So beta, px is 5. Px is 5 into x plus py is 10 into y. Income is 200. हाँ बेटा. So what will you get? We know that 2x should be equal to y. तो y की जगह पे 2x प्लग कर सकते हैं ना. So we will get 5x plus 10, 2x equal to 200. So 5x plus 20x equal to 200. 25x equal to 200. X is equal to 8. Y is 2 times x. This will be 16. अब satisfy हो गया. क्वेश्चन ने क्या बोला था? He consumes y 2 times of x. Y is coming 2 times of x. So I have satisfied that condition. वो तो मेरी clear हो गई बेटा. Satisfied हो गई ये condition मेरी. So y is coming 2 times of x. ये clear हो गया है हमें. And my equilibrium bundle is 8, 16. बेटा, if it asks you plot करो. So for my min function क्या बनाया है हमने? 2x, y. Beta, whatever comes inside the min function, I have to equate that. So 2x हो गया equal to y. तो बेटा ये this is called the line of king. इसको हमने क्या बोल दिया बच्चे? Line of king. तो line of king कैसे plot होगी? That when x is 1, y will be 2. This is my line of king. All the ICs का जो king होगा वो x equal to 2y के थ्रू पास करेगा. सॉरी, y equal to 2x के थ्रू पास करेगा. क्लियर हुई ये बात बेटा? अच्छा, now just see. My budget line given to me is 5x plus 10y is equal to 200. So beta, when I will put my y as 0, जब मैंने यहाँ y को 0 रखा तो बेटा x क्या आएगा? 200 by 5 ना, माने x आ गया 40. और जब मैंने x को 0 रखा, when I will plug x as 0, तो बेटा y क्या आ जाएगा? 200 by 10 ना, मतलब 20. तो या तो मेरा y will come as 20 or my x will come as 40. Beta, this is my budget line. And what is my equilibrium? Equilibrium में my ICs are L-shaped. It's a min function. And beta, equilibrium happens at the king. और इस king पे हमारा equilibrium क्या निकला है? X 8, Y 16. So beta, my X is 8 and my Y is 16. यहाँ कहीं पे मेरा equilibrium निकला होगा. This is the plotting of the equilibrium. Is everyone clear with it? Again, beta, this is an important question that came in the exam. You can find the solution to this question on your portal. Clear ho gayi baat beta ye? So these are the questions I wanted to go ahead and discuss in this video lecture today. Thank you beta.